It's going to be a different kind of video today. Basically I still have to ship out something today. I'm still waiting for a desktop PC, a Lenovo ThinkCentre M700 to get cooked. I still have to prepare it for shipment, even though I'm not going to take it to the post office today because it's pretty much late. At the moment, it's about 10 minutes past 7 in the evening, and there's just no way for me to go to the post office. But then, while waiting, I decided to make a different kind of video. So it's going to be very, very chill. I actually need your help, I understand that the internet is full of, very smart people, because I see this every day when I, take a look at YouTube. I see people making, content, and I can pretty much tell that there are so many smart people around here, all right? And sometimes it makes a lot of sense to actually tap into the knowledge of these, smart people. And I felt like this is a video I have been wanting to make for a very, very long time. You see, I make, eBay related reselling content. Personally, I sell, used computers, used laptops, monitors on eBay. And this is a beautiful category to sell in. And I do a lot of, work, preparing these computers, trying to make sure that they're in the best conditions to be shipped out. And of course, I also realized that, look, making content is part of the game in 2025. And I felt like, why not take advantage, of the fact that I come to my warehouse right here where I am now, and I turn out a lot of content. Pretty much everything I touch is content. When I, get returns, this could be a potential content. When I get, good deals, good transactions, people buying my stuff, even when sales are not selling, all these things are content. And even the challenges I go through on a daily basis, trying to make sure that a PC gets shipped out, preparing a PC for shipping, buying stuff from suppliers, and then the items get delivered, and the items are not in the best condition. These are beautiful content, and I felt like I was doing myself a lot of disservice, just not putting this, on YouTube, which I know is something that is, a thing in 2025. So long story short, and also to put things in very good perspective, I'm not in any way comparing myself to any creator out there. As a matter of fact, I understand that, look, we have different chapters of life. I might just be in my chapter 1 of content creation, and I'm not going to be making a mistake of comparing myself to somebody that's already, in chapter 20. I'm not going to do that. So this video is not about me now comparing myself with some of the big creators out there. Neither am I complaining. As a matter of fact, I am grateful for the opportunity I have. The opportunity I even have to create content at all is something that one needs to be grateful for. A lot of people would have loved to create content, while also doing their reselling on the side, but sometimes it is not easy, guys. I have been through this road. I am currently there, and I can tell you, if you are a reseller, when you have an active shop, a shop that sells and makes money, for you to also make content along the side, sometimes it can be very, very challenging. Sometimes there are some moments I would have loved to capture, but sometimes I get so tired just going to adjust my camera, because time, which you all know is the biggest problem of every reseller out there. You see, I stand to be corrected. I'm still hoping to see a reseller that has said, I have conquered time, I have mastered the time game. You see, you're constantly going to be on that pressure to go to the post office, to list items, to prepare items, to test your items. It's just what it is. It's a constant struggle. So I understand this, that, look, I am in a beautiful position. I am grateful that I can make content. But the problem is this: my eBay reselling content keep getting 0 views. It's a little bit of an exaggeration. Yes, I have actually gotten videos that got 0 views. Videos I thought in my own, taking a look at the videos, I have actually done a very good job, in presenting the things I do or the challenges I am passing through to somebody out there, and actually giving, solutions to how I overcame it that will be of benefit to the viewers. I do a lot of work to try to show you the behind the scene if you decide to sell in the electronics category. I'm talking about, everything electronics. It could be desktop PCs, it could be water heaters, it's just everything electronics, all right? But the problem is, each time I put out a video, it gets an abysmal amount of views. I mean, guys, this is crazy. Sometimes I put out a video, it gets literally 0 views. Sometimes it gets 1 view, sometimes it gets 7 views. It gets 9 views, and it just gets stuck there. And sometimes I even create videos, on a particular topic that I know there are people waiting to watch these videos. Because if I take a look at the niche which I create content in, which is the reselling niche, there are a lot of people waiting to watch these videos. I see people making videos and they get literally, hundreds, 200, 300 views. Once again, I'm not comparing myself to this creator, but I'm just saying that there is an established audience on this YouTube that wants to watch, eBay related reselling videos. I know this because the videos I see being put on a daily basis on YouTube, they get views. So at this point, I'm beginning to ask myself, what am I doing wrong? I kind of feel like there's something I am technically doing wrong, but I have taken a deeper look at my channel. I do not seem to be able to figure out where the problem is coming from. To put it in context, I am a reseller in Germany. I create content in Germany, and my analytics tells me that a lot of my viewers are in the US and also in Germany. But the problem is, each time I put up a video, I do not know what it is. It keeps getting like 3 views, 2 views, 0 views, and I'm asking myself, what am I technically doing wrong? This must be some answer that somebody will be able to give to me. I'm not saying that somebody must, but if you will be so kind to take a look at my account and pretty much point me in a direction, tell me something that I might be doing wrong. Because the last few videos I have put out, I want to imagine like I have put out about 15 videos, all constantly getting the same views, pretty much less than 50 views. And I want to imagine that, look, there might be something that is wrong, that is kind of making it possible for the YouTube algorithm not to even, see these videos, not to process them, talk less of even, showing it to potential, people that might be interested in this topic. Of course, I'm very flexible. I'm ready to make what people want to watch. If you are also there and there's a particular video, a reselling video that you would like to see, please go to the comment section, tell me about it. I can actually use my experience. If I cannot answer your question, I will also be polite enough to tell you this is not a question that I can answer. But at this point, I am literally making a plea that, look, I understand, like I said, there are a lot of smart people here on this YouTube street, and I understand that there are a lot of people that have gone through this phase of content creation before. I'm just wondering, is this something about perhaps my lighting? Could it be something about my, my microphone? Could it be something about my encoding? I use Premiere Pro. And could it be something about, the delivery, which I kind of feel like it's kind of good, it's engaging. I'm not talking too fast. Perhaps if I am talking too fast, let me know in the comment section. I just want to know exactly where to put my effort. I might be focusing on the wrong thing. It's possible I'm just so broad in my topics. I really have no idea. But one thing I do know, I am not in any way close to giving up. I am still going to be pushing through. I see a lot of content creators talking about this deep. This is a phase of your content creation where things literally just makes you want to quit, which, as a matter of fact, I wouldn't understand why YouTube needs to, make their content creators go through this terrible deep as to make them quit, because it's kind of counterintuitive. But take a look at it. The platforms literally needs to encourage the content creators to continue to create content, not to destroy them, not to, make them go through a kind of mental torture or to be discovered. It's kind of a lot. It's the same thing when you take a look at, eBay. In a lot of ways, eBay is very similar to YouTube. And if eBay decides now to, torture all the resellers that brings items to sell, there's going to come a time nobody will be able to, sell on the platform anymore. So eBay generally tends to, encourage the sellers. There are sometimes they give us free listings. Sometimes they just, from nowhere push our offers to potential buyers. But then YouTube, I wouldn't know what is going on. I understand that YouTube also has a very good algorithm that's able to, pair a particular video that is posted on the platform to an established audience that's already, watching similar videos on the platform. I don't know how long this pairing is going to take. Like I said, I'm not in any way, trying to give up. I'm not even close to giving up, because at the end of the day, even if I can just reach one person, like I said, I am grateful for this. But it would do me a lot of good if someone can point me in the right direction. If you are that person, I would appreciate if you ever get to see this video, please go to the comment section, take a look at the channel. Is there anything that you kind of feel might be, you know, blocking this channel's progress. Of course, I have watched, like, literally at this point, thousands of YouTube growth videos. At the end of the day, nobody seems to be able to answer that question. I don't know, perhaps there's that one particular video, that one particular insight that I haven't actually seen, and this is exactly why I am bringing this thing, you know, this problem, so to say, to you guys, because you guys are very smart. I believe in your judgment, and I know that out of the many hundreds of comments I'm going to receive, you know, people trying to point me in the right direction, there's definitely going to be one or two comments that's going to unlock something on this channel to make me see exactly what I am doing wrong, and I am willing to change it. Of course, until that is not the case, we are going to continue making content. I'm going to go ahead and ship out this PC right now. A beautiful PC, decent transaction, sold for a very good amount. I can't really tell for how much it's sold now. My phone is here, but like I said, this video is not about me shipping out things or, you know, talking about things that sold. I want you guys to tell me why my eBay reselling YouTube videos keeps getting 0 views. I'm just kidding. Until I see you again in the next one, peace.